Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Animation Appreciation Podcast. I am your host, Liliana Stargazer, and today we're doing another Cartoons in Review, TaleSpin. TaleSpin is an animated series about Baloo, as well as other members of the Jungle Book cast living in a world of anthropomorphic animals. These characters include Baloo himself, Cousin Louie, and Shere Khan. The show ran from 1990 to 1991 and was part of the same show block as Darkwing Duck. It was called Disney Afternoon Cartoons. I will cover more Disney Afternoon shows as I loved them. In fact, one show that had a recent reboot is next in line, so tune in next week to see which one it is. Anyway, in this show, Baloo is the owner of a plane shipping company that is mostly just an excuse to fly his seaplane called the Sea Duck around the fictional town of Cape Suzette. The town is actually a play on the word crêpe Suzette. Baloo does this with his orphan sidekick, Kit Cloudkicker. As his name suggests, he is a cloud surfer, which just means he hangs on the back of the plane, wakeboarding in the sky as if off a boat. At the start of the show, Baloo is lazy, selfish, and an oaf who hasn't worked in so long he has missed several payments on his plane. Enough payments, the bank actually sold his plane and company right out from under him to a woman named Rebecca and her young daughter. Rebecca then hires Baloo to fly what is now her plane and deliver her cargo. Whenever he doesn't cooperate, she reminds him, well, I am the owner and I can hire other pilots. Annoyed at the idea of anyone else even touching his sea duck, he gives in. Once she arrives with her very young daughter, once again in tow, Baloo introduces her to Wildcat, the skinny, seemingly crazy mountain lion that acts as Baloo's mechanic. During his introduction, Baloo states he can fix anything. When Rebecca shows her doubt, Baloo actually smashes a phone until it is nothing but tiny pieces of plastic and circuit board, hands it over to Wildcat, says, hey, I think this is broken. Wildcat says, here, let me take a look at it. Seconds later, he hands it back to Rebecca, saying, I believe this phone calls for you, as it had started ringing. Perfectly functional, as if it had never been broken. She also renames Baloo's old business Hire for Hire, as in go up, and Hire for Money, a shipping company with planes, in case you didn't get the reference there. The next character I wanted to talk about is Cousin Louie. In this series, he runs a juice bar that all the pilots go to, including Baloo. Every so often, he will even cut Baloo off because of money owed. Just a quick reminder how bad Baloo is with money. The location is typically where Baloo is whenever he's avoiding Becky. And last but not least, Shere Khan, the Machiavellian businessman who is shockingly not a villain, just a man trying to run a business. He does have pilots of his own and rarely seeks the outside use of any other company. He is mostly seen when Becky's company interferes with his own. He calmly but very insistently informs them to back off, and as the intimidating man he is, they usually do. To be honest, he may not seem like a villain, but he is a force to be reckoned with in this series. The series is actually about how Baloo is the best pilot in the area, and even Shere Khan has to admit that and use his services from time to time. But it is also about Baloo and his relationship with Becky and Kid, and honestly, Becky's little girl. As the series goes on, Baloo goes from being selfish and only wanting to be rid of Becky and just to have his plane and his freedom back to respecting her and her head for business. What makes it special? In my opinion, what made it special was the world and the unique twist they put on the classic characters from the story The Jungle Book. Granted, there are no humans, but that's okay. I love the idea of Louis being a bartender who can defend himself as needed, which is shown in the show, and Baloo being a freeloading pilot. Was it good at the time? Yeah, it was Disney afternoons. Everyone watched them. This one is fun, silly, and just a good time to watch. And of course, if you loved The Jungle Book, then of course you're going to love this. Everybody loves a good Baloo. Does it hold up now? Yeah, there's no major issues I was able to find. The worst being that Cousin Louie and his juice bar, which is blatantly supposed to be a regular bar that is has mocktails and everything, but we even see him putting juice in a blender and making juices. Personal thoughts. I still have a soft spot for the show. I even have pop vinyls of Wildcat Baloo and Shere Khan from this series. a testament to its long lasting effect on my generation. So, yes, I love the show and always have. In fact, if you happen to find me outside this podcast, I could very well be singing the intro to this song. And yes, I walked around my store as I work retail singing the intro to the song for a full day. That's all I have for today. Thank you. And as always, remember if it's animated, someone did it on purpose, especially with Disney. Have a great night, and thank you again.